Hello, my name is Alfred Enoch. I'm an actor and the latest patron of the London Church's Refugee Fund. It's a real privilege to be involved with a charity that works so hard to make a direct and tangible difference in the lives of refugees here in the UK. It really is vital work, and it's underpinned by the recognition that although we may be divided by language, culture, ethnicity, nationality, we are all, at the bottom of it all, brothers and sisters. So I would like to share with you now a passage that makes this very point. It's from an Elizabethan play called Sir Thomas More, and this passage has been attributed to Shakespeare. Grant them removed, and grant that this your noise hath chid down all the majesty of England. Imagine that you see the wretched strangers, their babies at their backs and their poor luggage, plodding to the ports and coasts for transportation, and that you sit as kings in your desires, authority quite silent by your brawl, and you in ruff of your opinions clothed. What had you got? I'll tell you. You had taught how insolence and strong hand should prevail, how order should be quelled, and by this pattern not one of you should live an aged man. For other ruffians, as their fancies wrought, with self-same hand, self-reasons, and self-right, would shark on you, and men, like ravenous fishes, would feed on one another. Say now the king should so much come too short of your great trespass as but to banish you. Whither would you go? What country, by the nature of your error, should give you harbour? Go you to France or Flanders, to any German province, to Spain or Portugal, nay, anywhere that not adheres to England, why you must needs be strangers. Would you be pleased to find a nation of such barbarous temper that breaking out in hideous violence would not afford you an abode on earth? Whet their detested knives against your throats, spurn you like dogs, and like as if that God owed not, nor made not you, nor that the claimants were not all appropriate to your comforts, but chartered unto them. What would you think to be thus used? This is the stranger's case, and this your mountainish inhumanity. We have been reminded this evening that every person on this earth is our sister or our brother, that we are bound together in a collective humanity. This profound truth presents an uncomfortable challenge to our often comfortable lives here at home when our brothers and sisters from across the world reach our shores in search of refuge, be that from war, famine, disease, or injustice. Now, people rarely flee their own country unless they are desperate, truly desperate, to find safety from harm. But when asylum seekers finally manage to reach the UK looking for our help and our protection, politicians and the media all too often focus on the numbers arriving, rather than telling the heart-rending stories of the human beings behind the statistics, or the contributions that asylum seekers have made or long to make to life in the UK. Let me tell you about Michael, a political activist in his home country where he was arrested for criticising the government. Accused of being a spy, he was moved on to death row, so his desperate family bribed the guards and helped him escape to the United Kingdom. When the charity Freedom from Torture first assessed him, Michael was suffering from depression and experiencing frequent flashbacks to his torture. Government errors meant that Michael's asylum benefits were stopped on several occasions. He was banned from working, but Freedom from Torture was able to offer support, and with money from a grant from the London Church's Refugee Fund, he was able to eat and purchase phone and travel cards. He was eventually granted refugee status, but further errors meant that his benefits would be stopped for weeks at a time. Again, money from the LCRF grant was used to pay him £30 a week until his national insurance was sorted out. He is now attending art therapy through freedom from torture and volunteering at a local hospital, providing him with a sense of purpose and the opportunity to contribute further to society. Now, for Michael, help only came when one of the refugee services, the LCRF Fund, took him under their wing and provided him with a lifeline to food, healthcare, trauma counselling, and assistance with his asylum claim. But above all, and for the first time in years, he was shown friendship and love. In time, we pray that Michael will recover, learn to trust people again, and build a new life for himself. The London Church's Refugee Fund is dedicated solely to helping destitute asylum seekers who depend so heavily on the projects we support for their travel, phone cards, food, healthcare, and trauma counselling, as well as for help with their asylum claims. Michael's is one story, but all the projects we support have similar stories to tell. The need is enormous. So please, please, please give your support to our sisters and brothers, either by making a one-off donation or, better still, by joining the growing number of people who donate monthly by standing order. We call them our foundation donors. We already have 80 such donors, and we are aiming to reach 150 during 2021. Please, could you help us reach that target? You will find all the information you need to make a one-off or a regular donation at www.lcrf.org.uk/donate. That's www.lcrf.org.uk/donate. Thank you.